Hello everybody, it's Starrapter here, and welcome back for another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon. Every week I break it all down for you guys, everything from the TV series to the comics to the novels and to the video games. This week we had a debut of a new ongoing comic series. This one is called Darth Vader, but wait a minute, we already have a Darth Vader ongoing comic series. Well, not to worry, we are getting a second dose of the Dark Lord of the Sith. This time, this one's taking place directly after the events of Revenge of the Sith. So it's written by Charles Soule with artwork by Giuseppe Camuncoli. I hope I pronounced that right. So yes, first off, this arc is called The Chosen One, which I think is brilliant. So like I said, this takes place pretty much right where Revenge of the Sith leaves off, with Vader just screaming "No" for a long time. Luckily, in this one, he only says it for literally "no." It doesn't go on. Anyway, so this is pretty cool because it's literally telling us the story of directly after something happened in the movie. The only other thing that has done this so far is actually Shattered Empire. So I really like this idea, how we're getting that first initial contact of, you know, Anakin becoming Darth Vader, and we're seeing that relationship even blossom more with him and Palpatine. So this comic, this first issue, basically just follows directly after that, and it's all about, you know, Vader discussing with the Emperor what his position is going to be now, what he is there to do. And it's a lot about the lightsabers, about how he has to get his own lightsaber now because, well, Obi-Wan took his. So he is now put on a mission by Palpatine where he's marooned on this planet and he has to actually take out a Jedi. And, you know, and as we learned in Ahsoka, you, like, bleed the crystal to turn red to, yeah, but so basically it's him trying to get this lightsaber. He's got to go out and kill a Jedi. Pretty cool. So certain things I liked about this particular debut issue was, first off, I think that Charles Soule did a great job with the dialogue. I think that Vader and Palpatine felt very natural, and the same kind of way that Kieran Gillen did it in his first run of Darth Vader. You don't have too much coming out of Vader himself. It's more or less basically Emperor who is, you know, the majority of the person speaking in this, which makes a lot of sense. We kind of see how they're playing off each other. Very cool. And as I just mentioned, I like how we're getting this lore of the bleeding crystals that was first introduced to in Ahsoka, and it's taken it to the next level in this one, so really cool. I also did enjoy seeing Masameda and basically what's going on with Coruscant. I think it's a great idea of, like, alright, now the Jedi are the bad guys, and they're painting a picture for the mass public, saying that the Jedi were the ones that were wrong, and now they're destroying all their lightsabers. So we see where most of them go. They get destroyed here, and it's just like a massive inferno of light. It's like probably something like a Death Star going off. Very interesting. I did like seeing the artwork portraying Vader's vision. And apparently you can turn it from red to like a more clear night vision kind of setting. Very interesting. And one final thing I liked about this was the action scene at the end. So we, like I said, we have Vader. He got left on this planet by Palpatine. He doesn't have a ship. He has to get a ship. So to do that, he has to take out some criminals, and he is just basically using the Force to just throw things around to kill these guys. He is at points getting shot by blasters, and I guess he's just in so much pain and rage that it just doesn't even matter to him. She's just taking guys out. As much as I did like things about this comic, it did have problems. First off, what the hell with the Force lightning, alright? So I thought that Vader was killed by Palpatine because he was, you know, electrocuted, and that fried his system. So apparently the Emperor does this right off the bat as soon as he's in a suit. It's like, doesn't Palpatine think like, hey, this guy's made out of circuits, he's a cyborg, doesn't his suit short out if I do this? Don't get me wrong, I'm sure he controlled it to a point where it wasn't going to kill him lethally, but that is just kind of weird how that would even happen, because I thought he died that way. So very strange there. And the main problem I have with this comic has nothing to do with the dialogue, the story. It's all great. It's the artwork that really just pulls me out of the whole thing. I feel like this artwork does not meet the tone of this very dark comic. I mean, it's about Vader's origins. Like, this guy is murdering people left and right, and we got the Emperor. It's got this very very, dreary kind of tone to it. And yet we got these Spider-Man kind of very animated kind of stuff going on with the artwork, and it's just really just bad because I mean you see the Emperor, he just looks like a zombie with really sharp teeth, very strange, and Vader just doesn't even look menacing. There's points where his neck looks too long, his helmet is just off looking to me. Like, I don't know, I'm sure that this guy does a great job, Giuseppe, with other other fandoms and stuff, but I feel like for this specific comic with Vader, it's just not a good fit right out of the gate here. And it's just like if they got Alex Maleev, who did Lando, or if they bring back Salvador LaRocca, who I thought did an excellent job on the original run of Vader, I think it'd be great. Yeah, and then there's that one picture with Masameda, and he's just like this weird, freaky, dumb-looking smile on his face when he's screaming. It's just absolutely bizarre. So I like the story. I like where it's going, where Vader has to go and take out a Jedi, but the artwork pulls me out of it, and comics are built upon art. So if the art's not there, then it's going to take me out of the experience. So you've been warned. Moving on to the second thing I want to talk about this week, we had the release of Rogue One #3. So this pretty much takes point in the movie where the Death Star decimates Jedha. So we have the rebels fleeing from the planet, and it goes all the way up into the point on Edu, where we have the rebellion going and taking out that refinery and causing the big explosion, which ultimately kills Galen. So we have everything in between that as well. So I thought that they're doing a great job with the additional scenes. They're doing an awesome job kind of filling in the gaps a little bit. It's not anything that's going to change your outlook on Rogue One, but it's certain things that'll just make you go, that's interesting. Like, for instance, we see Saul's last moment. He's saying Steela, his sister's name, and it shows a picture of her and him during the Clone Wars. So people that have watched the Clone Wars, there's that really touching moment right before he dies. He's thinking about her. I thought that was really, really nice. There's a moment on the way to Edu where Chirrut is actually, he's doing his mantra, I'm one with the Force is with me, and he goes and he grabs Jin's hand because he knows that, he's looking over and she's having a hard time. So that's just another sweet moment between the two characters. Another thing I enjoyed was before Orson Krennic arrives at Edu, there is this moment where Galen finds that out through the scanners, and he's talking with his fellow scientists about, different things about, oh yeah, it's just a routine checkup, and little do they know that it's going to be all of their deaths. And there's this really great moment between Baze and Chirrut, which is actually seen in the trailer, and it was cut from the movie, where Baze goes, they destroy our home, and they are talking about this nice dialogue between Chirrut and Baze about who they really are serving. What are they doing? What is their purpose? Are they with the rebellion, or are they just with Jin? And it's kind of this nice little moment that kind of adds more depth to the characters just on top of what they already had. Another thing I liked about this issue was the panel design, particularly at the moment where Cassian is contemplating whether or not to assassinate Galen. There's these crosses between him looking through the scope and Jin, and I thought it adds a really nice layer of suspense, even though we already know ahead of time how it all goes down. And one thing that consistently bothers me with this comic is the depictions of both Orson Krennic and Tarkin. I just feel like they never quite look right. So that is going to do it for another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon, but I want to know what you guys thought of Darth Vader #1. Did you like this first issue, and where do you see this comic going in the future? I myself would like to see the inception of the Inquisitor program. I would like to see Vader slaying some Jedi. I would like to see the clones, slowly transitioning into the Stormtrooper program, and much, much more. Let me know in the comment section below. Also, what are you thinking of the Rogue One comic adaptation? Are you enjoying the little tidbits that they're adding in there from the novels and whatnot? I know I am. And if you liked all this content, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. I have content uploaded regularly pertaining to Star Wars, pertaining to DC, Marvel, you name it. I'm probably talking about it in some way or form, although I haven't talked about Doctor Who yet, so eventually I'll probably do that. Make sure you subscribe. I'm Starrapter. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you always. So, did you like the video? Then make sure you rate it a thumbs up, and if you did that, go over there, hit that Starrapter head to subscribe to my channel. Doing so will keep you up to speed on all of my latest content, speaking of which you can see a couple of my recent uploads down below. I'm also on social media, so what are you waiting for? Let's start nerding out!